Yo, what is going on, everyone? Septic here, and let's talk about my top 5 favorite games of 2024. We're currently in 2025 right now, anticipating some great games that are going to be coming out soon, but we got to look back and look at what made 2024 amazing. Of course, this is my list here, so it's only going to be the games that I played this year. So there's going to be certain games that are going to be missing from here, like games that I wanted to play that are not here, like for example are going to be Stellar Blade and The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. And of course, I will be revealing the winner of the poll from that previous video talking about the top 10 games I'm anticipating for 2025. We're going to be grabbing the winner and I'm going to be announcing it at the end of the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into it, and we're going to start off with number 5, Sonic X Shadow Generations. I still remember when this game was announced, a lot of people were kind of confused as to why it was getting a remaster. Like, people would have thought that one day it would have just gotten a port, just a straight port to like consoles and everything, because the game is already available on PC at like a very low cost. So a lot of people just pretty much play it there and everything. But it was a good idea to bring these games to consoles. Like, I think the Nintendo Switch needed it, the Xbox and PlayStation. But lo and behold, here we have a whole remaster and also a whole redubbing and everything. So the game was redubbed, a lot of lines were changed. But the main thing that this game was bringing to the table was a whole campaign just focused on Shadow. Shadow was pretty much going to be getting the spotlight in this one. It wasn't going to be too long. Apparently, I said it was going to be like the same length as the regular Sonic Generations. I can definitely see it, but there are less stages and there are less missions to go through. So for Sonic Generations' story, it's pretty much the exact same. Sonic gets caught by the time meter in this time distortion. He meets his classic self, and he pretty much goes and rescues his friends, going through past stages from the original Sonic the Hedgehog all the way up to Sonic Colors. However, Shadow Generations is the main one in this whole bundle here, the one that everyone's been praising. In Shadow Generations, Shadow is also brought into the time distortion, obviously, as we do have a boss fight with him in the regular Sonic Generations, but in it, his past pretty much comes back to haunt him. Pretty much Black Doom is back with a distortion, pretty much here to torment him, and Shadow will be running into Maria and Gerald again. That's all I'm going to say here. You have to play the game for yourself if you haven't yet. Now, gameplay wise, I do want to say Sonic Generations plays the exact same as it did back then. It is still an incredible experience to go through. I still hate the missions, but Sonic Generations' main stage, Acts 1 and 2, are just a ton of fun to go through. It's a blast. The bosses are great, except the time meter, fuck that guy. But the game is an absolute masterpiece to play through, and it still holds up to this day. But Shadow Generations, on the other hand, is a whole different beast. Like, it's taking what made Sonic Frontiers incredible and just amplifying it to like the max. Shadow Generations pretty much plays like how Sonic Frontiers plays, with all the button layouts and just the movement in general, and you just get to see just how incredible it feels. Shadow also has these Doom powers and everything that he can use, like Doom Spear and then Doom Morph. You utilize these as you go through the stages and everything. It's an incredible time. Oh, and the game is just visually beautiful. While Sonic Generations is pretty much an HD remaster through and through, it's going to look like the exact same as if it came from the PS3 era, just in higher quality. Shadow Generations is pretty much using the Sonic Frontiers engine, so you can definitely see the amount of details that these models have and just how beautiful everything looks like. And as for the music, let me tell you, the remixes for the music have been absolute bangers that I'd be playing in my car. Like Sunset Heights' remix is incredible. The harder remix version, I guess, of What I'm Made Of sounds incredible. It is incredibly beautiful to listen to. It is awesome. Overall, a fantastic game. I rated this whole game about an 8.5 out of 10 because Sonic Generations was already incredible. How do you make it better? You slap on Shadow Generations on it. Guys, it is a must-have. Definitely pick up this game. Like, I think this is the best way to play Sonic Generations. This whole bundle as a whole, like, has pretty much become my top 3 like Sonic games of all time. All right, moving on to number 4, we have Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, a port of the game, but also an enhancement similar to Persona 5 Royal. But this is a whole completely different enhanced remaster. While Persona 5 Royal was one of those games where it just starts off similarly and everything, depending on like certain choices, you can get to the royal path stuff, the extra content. SMT5 Vengeance makes you choose beforehand. So when you start up the game, you're forced to choose between either going through Canon of Creation, which is the original game, or going through Canon of Vengeance, which is the new content. I think this is an incredible experience, especially for someone who may not have played Shin Megami Tensei 5 beforehand. They can jump straight into Canon of Creation, see what they missed on when it was exclusive to the Switch. I think it is incredible that this game is no longer locked to the Switch. I love playing the game on my Switch, but let me tell you what I'm not a fan of. Just the low frame rate of the game. Like, I think it was like less than like 30. I think it was like running like sometimes at 24 frames when you're running through the overworld. It was a disaster, let me say the least. So I'm glad to see that this game is now available on like PlayStation 5, Xbox, and PC and all that stuff. Just being able to play the game at like a crisp 60 frames per second was enough. It was absolutely fantastic, man. Like, I'm just glad I don't have to deal with lagging in the overworld anymore. But canon of creation, you can still play the original game. There's the original 4 endings and everything. Still fun to play through and everything. But the main thing we gotta highlight here, obviously, is the new Canon of Vengeance path. This is a completely different story to what you're gonna see in the original SMT5. While it starts off similar, as soon as you hit the second areas where you start seeing the differences. And then like once you reach the 3rd to 4th area, it's a completely different game. There's more demons to collect, more new skills for Nahobino to learn, and of course new characters, with the main new character here is none other than Yoko. The new plot will also be focusing on the Kadishtu, and they're pretty much here trying to pretty much kind of like destroy the earth. I'm not really going to go into details on the story. You have to play for yourself. I will say though, I've only ever played 3 SMT games. So obviously SMT5 Vengeance, the original, and I played SMT3. And what I have to say is that I think SMT5 Vengeance has like the best story, but SMT5 Vengeance has 2 endings, and just like with past SMT games, you pretty much decide what ending. But this time in a different way, like kind of like going back to harkening to the old days, where you pretty much have to choose between certain options, and depending on the options you have, you either side with this or you might side with this. You know, like, I don't want to say anything, I don't want to like tease anything, but there are 2 endings to this game, and trust me, like, the game is absolutely incredible. I hope you guys play it. But yeah, if you guys like Persona but wanted something like of a harder challenge, SMT5 Vengeance is right for you. Gameplay is still pretty much the exact same. The press turn system is still here and present. Overall exploration is great. There's even new areas to explore in the overworld, and there's also this new mechanic that lets you kind of like grind on these rails and everything just to pretty much get to certain new areas. It's absolutely incredible, guys. Also, the art designs for these characters are absolutely great. Like, I don't think I've ever had any complaints with the way these characters look like. I think they all looked incredible. The demons also look incredible. This game is beautiful, guys. And the music is definitely way better, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not hate the SMT5 music beforehand, but it was nothing like memorable. But there's a lot more tracks here that are definitely something I'll be listening to or jamming out to, basically. I don't want to say which tracks play and all that stuff, because it would lead into some spoilers. I think there's more variety here, and there's more like songs that you'll probably like recognize and even probably put into your playlist when you're doing something. Overall, SMT5 Vengeance for me gets an 8.5 out of 10. It is incredible. I just don't think it reaches that like want that I wanted from SMT5, but I think that SMT5 Vengeance does a way better job with its story compared to the original Canon of Creation. A lot more characters get their time to shine and everything, but they also like complement Canon of Creation. So if you play the original and get to learn about these characters and play Vengeance, you get to love some of these characters even more. I highly recommend playing SMT5 Vengeance, especially if you've never played an SMT game. I think this is a really good one to start off with. So if you guys can get your hands on this game, go ahead and do so. Alright, number 3, we're going to Persona 3 Reload. Pretty much as you can see here so far with these 3 choices here, it's just been an Atlus and Sega contest here, guys. Like, this whole year for me has just been Atlus and Sega games. Alright, let's get straight to Persona 3 Reload. I don't think it needs any explanation. It's a whole remake of Persona 3, combining elements of what made FES and Portable great, and pretty much fixing a lot of things, giving a lot of quality of life changes to pretty much make the game more comfortable to play. And I'm gonna say, I think it's the best way to play Persona 3, like, hands down. FES, right, while there is a lot more of a challenge with its harder boss, I personally would rather play Reload. It's just, it does a lot of good things. Portable, same thing. It brings some of those quality of life to Reload and everything, but just expands upon it overall. It just makes it better. So I think Persona 3 Reload is the way to play the game. Talking about story, they did add the answer stuff through DLC, which I correctly predicted, by the way. I correctly predicted that with a whole video on that. The answer is here, and I'm just gonna say, like, I always knew that the answer was kind of whatever, and it's pretty much still the exact same thing here with the answer. Well, this time it's going to be called Episode I guess. There are a lot of quality of life changes that make it more comfortable to play through, which I'm very grateful for. But you can also see the cracks of the game, right? Like, they tried to keep it like faithful in a way, so you get to see some of the issues that were there present with the regular Persona 3 and even the answer. Quality of life stuff does fix it, but it doesn't hold it enough, and you just get to see what hasn't aged well with Persona 3. Obviously, I don't want to get too much details into the story, as I want everyone to play it if you haven't yet. Obviously, there's a whole, basically a new hour that's pretty much been hidden to everyone. That in that hidden hour, shadows pretty much attack, and you're pretty much trying to figure out what is going on in the dark hour, and you're pretty much climbing through Tartarus to figure out what's going on. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go into details on anything. If you play Persona 5, you already should know how Persona 3 is going to be. A lot of your free time is pretty much going to be used exploring. Is going to be used hanging out with your social links. And then new to this game are like link episodes, where characters that didn't have social links in the original FES or Persona 3 are pretty much available to you. That way you can pretty much get to know those characters even more. There's a lot of the quality of life stuff, like you can garden, all that stuff, so you can get some items that will help you out, whether it be buffs or ailment recoveries. You can cook, pretty much giving you like some free healing items. There's even a point where you can like kind of like read in the little library in the dorm that pretty much give you some social stat increases. There's many more things here but they definitely did a lot to pretty much improve the quality of life stuff and the gameplay of Persona 3 Reload. I also don't think this needs any explanation. The art direction is great. Like there's nothing bad I can say about this art design. Like it is beautiful. They've pretty much taken what made Persona 5 great with its like unique designs, UI, just in your face like beautiful graphics and beautiful art design, and you just amplified it with Persona 3 Reload. It is absolutely incredible. It's beautiful. Music, oh my god, bro, the tracks are great. The new tracks are even better. Like It's Going Down Now is an absolute banger. Put that on your Spotify, guys. Like take it with you when you're like going somewhere out in public. Take it with you when you're going to the gym. It is a banger, bro. You're just gonna be listening to it and just having a jam. This game is incredible, guys. Like I rated it a 9 out of 10. It's absolutely phenomenal. But Persona 3 Reload definitely is now like my second favorite like Persona game of all time, and I definitely think that everyone should go ahead and play this game at one point in their lives. If you guys can get your hands on this game, go ahead and do so. As for the answer, like DLC, I would say get that when it's on sale, because it's not worth the full price tag, guys. So if you can get the answer, do it on a sale. But definitely get Persona 3 Reload. It is an absolute blast of a time to play through, and I definitely highly recommend it. All right, moving on to number 2, we have none other than Astro Bot. Let me tell you about my experience with this game. I love it. Guys, this game is absolutely incredible. It just has a cute charm to it. I love collectathons. Like playing this game kind of reminds me of like my time going through Spyro. I love collectathons. I think they're just absolutely charming. And this game pretty much takes the collectathon aspect of gaming and just amplifies it. This is great. You can see just how much love and care they put into this game when it comes to just the gameplay stuff, and even the like cameos from like the other IPs. The story, there's really no story. Astrobot is pretty much just on his PS5 ship. His parts get taken, he falls, and you're pretty much tasked with pretty much repairing the ship. And while you're going through the stages, you're pretty much rescuing other Astrobots and even Astrobot cameos. Gameplay is pretty much your typical like platformer collectathon type game. It is just a charm to play through. If you're looking for like a huge challenge, you're not really gonna find anything here, but that's completely fine. I'm not here for a challenge. I'm here for like a more cozy experience. Like I love collectathons. It's one of those games where I just kind of sit back and use it to just kind of like just have fun and enjoy my time. Oh, and let me tell you, Astrobot's graphics are absolutely incredible. Like the game looks gorgeous. It really takes advantage of what the PS5 system is, and that's pretty much the whole purpose and why you probably will never see it on PC. The only reason I'd ever tell someone to get a PS5 is just to play Astrobot. Like this game is phenomenal. I do love the music as well. The music is charming to listen to and everything, and there's even some remixes from other PlayStation games and everything, which I don't want to like really get into. I don't want to kind of spoil if you haven't really seen anything. The music is fun to listen to and whatnot. There are some like complaints I have like with certain Astrobots not being represented. Obviously one of the biggest ones being Final Fantasy. Like you'd think that Final Fantasy 7 would be here. Obviously I know that's with Square Enix, but I do hope that Square Enix gets to play ball. Obviously Kingdom Hearts would be nice to see here. I don't know if that one will be added because I mean Disney, Sakura was able to work his magic, but I do hope that at least we get Sora at one point. There are definitely some Astrobots that are represented here that don't have like a huge history with PlayStation, kind of like Okami and Ghosts and Goblins. So I would like to see some other characters here that are not that huge with PlayStation, but like would fit in right well. Like I think like Sonic would fit well, Pac-Man, Mega Man, but those are just some Astrobots and everything. And yeah, those complaints are not for like the developers themselves, but more so like just from the fact that these companies haven't like added them in. And they've worked with some of these companies already when it comes to getting some bots into the game. So hopefully we get to see them later, but that's my only complaint, because other than that, this game is absolutely phenomenal. It is an absolutely beautiful game. If you guys can get your hands on it, like, do it. I wouldn't even say get it on sale. I just say get it when you can. because this game is like, I think it's worth the full price. This game is an absolute charm, and you're gonna have a blast. You're just gonna be sitting there with a smile on your face, just relaxing and having a grand old time. I gave this game a 9.5 out of 10, and I think it's rightfully so. The game also won Game of the Year, and I also think that game definitely deserved that Game of the Year award. Completely understand all the Game of the Year awards going to this game. Like, it deserved every single one of them. This game is a blast. I hope you can play it. But here I am kind of like, you know, giving Astrobot like this praise and everything. Yeah, this is why I deserve Game of the Year and everything. It's not my personal Game of the Year, but it's definitely deserving of a Game of the Year. We're going to number 1, guys. So my Game of the Year is Metaphor ReFantazio. I think that needs no explanation. I think you guys should know, especially with that video I made on the Game Awards, how much I was pretty much riding the Metaphor hype train. Like, Metaphor is such a phenomenal game. It is being made by the guys who made Persona 3, 4, and 5. They formed their own studio within Atlas, and this game has been in development, last time I can recall, like since like 2016, 2017. I forgot the exact year, but I remember seeing like the concept art for what seemed to be like kind of like would eventually be like a younger Hulkenberg, and then to finally see them create their passion they've been working on for such a long time, make it a full game, is absolutely amazing. I've been hearing also as well that there's a lot of stuff that seemed like they had to cut because they didn't have any time, so we'll see if those eventually like pan out in the future. But guys, Metaphor ReFantazio as it is such a phenomenal game. I think you guys need to get this game. Story-wise, pretty much, let's just get like the basic general consensus of this. The original king died, and now there's a whole tournament to pretty much announce who will be the new king. And you're pretty much going around the world and pretty much trying to prove to everyone why you should be king and all that stuff. I don't want to get into details about it because let me tell you guys, this game is a fucking amazing game, guys. Like, this game is whoo! Like, I just want to talk about it. I just want to say certain things, but if I say certain things, it'll be spoilers. So I'm just gonna say nothing. You guys need to play the game. This game's story is phenomenal. The characters are great. Yes, well, it does bring in the social link aspect of the Persona games. I know some people kind of turned off by that, and same thing with the calendar system. I think it does it well. Like, there's not as much social links. There's not as much days and everything. It's a little bit of a, I guess you could say, quicker experience, but I don't want to say that either because I feel like it's just a regular Persona like length, just with less months and less social links to deal with. This game is absolutely phenomenal. When you look at the gameplay pretty much takes what they've learned from Persona and just amplifies it. And not only that, it doesn't just play like Persona. If anything, it plays like a Shin Megami Tensei game. You have the turn icons here, pretty much bringing in the press turn system. I think it just makes it much better of a game, and it makes you more cautious on using just AoE spells. But the one thing I really loved about the gameplay was the archetype system. You have the archetype system, which pretty much allows you to pretty much be flexible what your party wants to be. You can have everyone be a mage, you can have everyone be a warrior, or you can just balance it out. Like, okay, I feel like this character, they don't fit a warrior type. I feel like they'd be better defending, so let me make them a knight and everything. Oh, this person, I think they'd be better off as a mage. You're flexible with what you want your party to be like. You level up those archetypes, you earn new skills and everything. Then when you go over to a new class, you earn those skills. You can inherit skills and everything. There's so much to this game that I want to tell you about, but it will pretty much take a long time, guys. All you got to know is that it's pretty much taking what made Persona great, adding some SMT flair into it, and probably creating one of the greatest games ever created. Art style, oh my god, dude, do I even have to say anything about the art design? The art design is through the roof, guys. Like the UI, there's the chat boxes, the way the UI for the battle screen is, like, it's incredible. And the music as well. Oh my god, dude, the battle theme, like, they got the priest from Yoji Temple, I think it was, to pretty much like make the vocals for that battle theme that everyone's pretty much hearing. And dude, it is an absolute banger. The guy goes hard, dude. That guy should deserve an award for himself. Best music, the priest from Yoji Temple. Like, that dude went hard. I do have some minor complaints. Like, for example, I feel like the grind for some of these archetypes can be a little bit annoying. The mag grind specifically can also like just be annoying as well. Like, it's very little, but nothing that kind of like affects the story. As a matter of fact, if they somehow make an enhanced version, right? Say they do Metaphor ReFantazio Royal, whatever. I'm gonna call it the Royal Edition. What would they add? Like, I cannot think of anything. What would they add? I mean, you know, that would be even incredible to see what exactly they would add to pretty much expand the story. I'm fine with it. There's a lot of characters that I would love to see extra stuff with. So anything extra, fine by me, bro. Fine by my book. So if they make a Royal Edition of this game or whatever they want to call it, I'm buying it. That's the problem with me. I know a lot of people definitely not like it. I might make a video talking about like enhanced versions versus DLC and whatnot, but I don't want to get into that right now. But all I want to say is Metaphor ReFantazio is definitely worth the full price that it is. If you can get it on sale, even better. but Metaphor is such a phenomenal game, and I think it is one that everyone should play, especially if you're an RPG fan. Like, this game is absolutely incredible. I'm giving this game a 9.5 out of 10 as well, similar to Astro. But Metaphor ReFantazio, in my opinion, is the best game of 2024. So those were my top 5 favorite games of 2024. But before we end the video, there's one more thing I have here open, and that's pretty much the results of the poll that I ran. I asked you guys what were your favorite games of 2024, and these are the winners of the poll. So I want to just mention, in last place, believe it or not, in last place, it is actually Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload was actually, in the end, it was the last place winner. Second to last was Helldivers 2. And then in 4th place, you have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So that pretty much brings us down to our top 3. Our top 3 are Astrobot, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Sonic X Shadow Generations. And now let's go ahead and announce the winner. The winner was Metaphor ReFantazio. It pretty much won with 29.7% of the vote. So congratulations, Metaphor ReFantazio. It is my game of the year, and it won my poll for game of the year of 2024. So congratulations, Metaphor. I hope to do more of these in the future. I'm definitely going to run another poll for 2025. This was fun to do, so I'm definitely excited to make more of these. Anyways, that's it for the end of this video. I want to thank you all for watching. If you made it to the end, I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And also like the video if you enjoyed what you saw. Share it around with others. And just thank you all for the support. You know, we're in 2025 now. I just got to pretty much increase my momentum when it comes to videos. I do want to continue making more videos for you guys. Obviously, due to work, there's some things that I can't get out of the way quick. So I'm definitely trying to see what else I can upload. But guys, yo, thank you for the support. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. And I just love making videos for you guys. Here's to 2025, and let's see what else we get out of this year, guys. So with that out of the way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have yourselves a fantastic day, and take care, everyone.